Holy What's up, heroes? My name is Clone, and welcome back to Crystalline. Chapter 3 just released the other day, and I had to download it. I had to patch it up, make sure this was going just right. I've been looking forward to this chapter for far too long now. I was really disappointed when 2 ended, or the end of Chapter 2, I should say. I really didn't expect it was going to end right there. I didn't think I was that far along. So, Chapter 3 is out. And what better way to start off Chapter 3 by picking up right where we left off at the Earth Temple. Let's go. We approach the temple's entrance. New area. Ooh, that's really pretty. I like all of these like pine cone, like hop sort of looking things that are on these pillars back here. This is a really nice scenery. Very, very different already from what we saw at the Fire Temple. The temple structure, at least what remains of it, reminds me of the one from the Fire Temple. It's built with an open front, and I can see where the altars may have stood in the past, but it's just weathered stone. Now it's just weathered stone. The columns are still holding up, but I watch them precariously, untrusting of their stability. Vibrant green moss camouflages the gray stones. I have to admit, the view is quite impressive. Terra takes the lead and steps carefully on the stones, obviously testing for traps. The rest of us hang back and let her explore without distraction. Leanna holds on to the Pongo, who seems eager to explore with Terra. After circling through the temple, she returns to us, perplexed.
Based on the design of the Fire Temple, I figured the Earth Temple would have more traps.
Maybe, but then again, the Fire Temple was in a little more of a populated area where the Earth Temple really isn't.
Or even just one trap, but I found 0.
Then we should definitely stay on our guard.
Agreed.
Are you doubting my abilities?
Are you? That's the big question.
No, I just meant...
Yeah, dig yourself out of this hole, buddy. Terra giggles.
I know. I'm just teasing.
I can never read her. I don't know what she's ever thinking. Zack grumbles and crosses his arms. Amelia steps up to the temple and starts to have a careful look around. The rest of us slowly filter in too. The Pongo hops out of Leanna's arms and bounces excitedly into the temple. Well, yeah, there's probably a ton of magic. Amy fidgets with her manipulator, much to the curiosity of Leanna.
What are you checking?
I am searching for any anomalies in these magic readings. The barrier from the last temple resonated a unique signature. If such a thing were to exist here as well, it is highly likely to lead us to the Earth Elemental.
Terra shakes her head in wonder.
I still can't believe the elementals are real.
I wouldn't jump so fast to that conclusion.
Why?
Seriously? Did you forget about our journey to the Fire Temple?
I didn't, but I don't remember me or the rest of you seeing the fire elemental, except him.
Why is everyone looking at me? Zack gives me a pointed look.
He wouldn't have a reason to lie about it.
Thank you!
Exposure to large quantities of magical energy can potentially cause hallucinations. There have been documented cases of such events transpiring.
So you're saying I got drugged up on magic. Is that what she's saying? She's how I absorbed energy. I'm not from here. Anything is possible. Meh. Normally my response would be meh. But I kind of like this one. I'm not from here. Anything's possible because the group knows I'm not from here. You have a dude who traveled here through a temporal rift from a parallel world and can directly absorb energy. I'm pretty sure anything is possible.
Fair point.
Thank you, Zack. Not you. Amelia looks at her manipulator.
There appears to be a strange pattern regarding the energy distribution.
How strange. That doesn't sound good at all. A sudden rumble from above breaks our attention. The rocks shift precariously, then crack and come crashing down above me.
Look out!
Leanna tackles both of us out of the way just as the rock smashes down, leaving a heavy split in the stones on the ground. I land hard and my body erupts and aches.
Are you okay?
I think so. Thank you. Leanna props herself up on top of me and peers down with a worried look.
Sorry. I channeled my wind energy into reaching you in time, and I didn't even think about softening the landing.
I'm just okay, we're okay. I stare at her. You just saved my life and you're apologizing over something like that? Leanna looks a little surprised, but then she lets out a smile. Are you okay?
Yeah, thankfully the brunt of my fall was broken by...
Pongo? Her voice trails off and her cheeks redden when she realizes she's straddling me. Nice. She quickly picks herself up. Ah, I actually didn't mind us being like that. I kind of like this line right here, just for the fact of a lot of the community, from what I've been able to tell on their Discord page, really likes Leanna. So it's not surprising that they might throw something like this in here. I like that touch. I wince as I carefully push myself to my feet. Leanna's attention is on the mountain of rocks sectioning us off from the rest of the team.
Hey, can you guys hear us?
Yes! Although, since it's through rocks, wouldn't it be, yes, I can hear you! Kara's voice is muted from the other side of the rock wall. We're fine! What happened?
The structure collapsed from the instability of the ruins.
Thank you, Amy.
I would advise caution moving forward.
I couldn't tell stuff had collapsed. I would have never have guessed that.
Hi, boy.
Don't worry, buddy. I'll be okay. The Pongo's voice is very small. Pongo!
Don't worry. He's safe here with us.
Good. I'd be very upset if something happened to him.
Speaking of moving, how are we gonna get these stones moved?
One at a time.
Stand to the side. I'll move them with my magic.
Or we do that. Leanna motions me to move back and I comply. Her gauntlet flickers to life as she channels her wind energy. At first, the rocks refuse to budge, but Leanna keeps trying. Sweat beads on her face and as she concentrates, but even after a few more attempts, she's unable to move any of the rocks to break the wall.
I can't seem to move any of the stones.
The frustration is evident in her voice. It's weird that she can't move any of the stones at all. I hear some shuffling on the other end, and I assume it's Amy using her manipulator to scan.
Interesting. It appears these are no ordinary stones. They are shielded with magic.
Who shielded them with magic is the big question. What does that mean?
The magic they are shielded with are dampening any other outside magical efforts.
That's not good.
And I'm guessing they're too big to move.
However, in the light of this new information, I am able to adjust the type of reading necessary to override the wall's magic block. By doing so, I am able to plot out the navigation of this temple as the ruins emit energy. Based on our current locale, our paths will converge in a short time if we move further in.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Let's get going then.
Guess we gotta get going. Leanna and I look at each other and nod. We start heading in the direction Amy provided. We stick close together and keep a cautious eye on our surroundings. Leanna periodically checks her manipulator. Looking for something?
I'm following Amy's energy signature to make sure we're both going in the same direction. So far, we're still on the right path, and should be converging with them soon enough.
I would think if we're in a hallway, we'd be able to just know which way we're going, but whatever. That's good. I put my hands behind my head. Hey, I forgot to thank you earlier for saving me. Thanks. Leanna smiles.
You did the same for me.
Huh?
Raven Pass, remember? When we fought the treasurer.
Oh, that's right. I dove in front of her and took the brunt of a magic blast. Oh, that. I guess so, but I only pushed you out of the way back then. In hindsight, I probably should have also dived out of the way too, instead of, eating the blast full force.
Moving out of the way would have been a better idea, but it was heroic nonetheless.
Thanks to praise from the waifu. Leanna smirks.
Besides, you find yourself in trouble so often that saving you has kind of become second nature.
You want to repeat that to me? Wow! Rude. Leanna giggles. She seems to be in better spirits as we continue traveling. We turn a corner and find ourselves in a slightly open area. I notice a bit of movement from the corner of my eyes, but when I look over, all I see are the same mossy vines which are covering the entrance of the temple, too. That's strange.
The energy reading here is higher than usual.
What's up? Leanna goes to draw her sword.
It's not dormant like everywhere else. I'm scanning active energy here.
That doesn't sound good. Not at all. Before I can react, vines shoot up from the stones of the ruins and converge straight towards Leanna. She gasps and attempts to swing at the incoming vines, but there are too many of them. As they entangle her limbs, she loses the grip on her sword and it clatters to the ground. Oh my!
What is this?
I don't want to tell you. I just don't. Because then I'm going to feel bad for knowing. For some reason, the vines only target Leanna and have kept a berth around me. Maybe the trap was only sensitive to energy manipulation? Thankfully, I wasn't casting. Leanna struggles to break free in vain as the vines lift her off the ground.
Help me down!
I have seen enough to know where this is going. I pull out my sword, but the vines twist and tangle around each other, which makes Leanna a moving target too. The last thing I want to do is accidentally cut her as I'm trying to cut the vines. It might be best that I wait. Right? Oh my goodness, there's the option just to wait and see where this goes. I'm so glad this isn't timed right now. Let's see. I really want to see where this goes, but I'm afraid of the repercussions of if I just sit and wait. I'm gonna help free her. I'm gonna do that. I dash forward and, with skillful precision, slice down the vines. As my sword cuts through the vines, they writhe and shrink away from Leanna until she's able to wriggle free. Unfortunately, more vines emerge and head straight for me. I cut them as they approach, but there are too many of them, and I struggle to keep up. Just as the vines are about to encircle me, I spot a familiar glow of a blade carved trails of light through the vines. Leanna is a blur as she methodically slices the vines with an accuracy and speed I strive to mimic. Before long, all of the vines lay motionless pieces on the ground. Well then.
This never happened. Got it?
No. No, ma'am. It didn't. It never happened. You might be blushing, but I'm afraid. She glares at me despite her burning cheeks. Yes, ma'am.
Let's hurry up and get going then.
Yes, ma'am. Leanna doesn't wait for me as she continues down the path. I jog to catch up to her. Leanna is extra cautious and keeps her blade at the ready as we continue down the path. Thankfully, without further incident, we spot the rest of the group waiting for us on a converging path.
You guys made it!
You are overflowing and bubbling and bouncing to see me.
Boy!
Pongo! The Pongo bounces over to me and leaps into my arms. Hey, buddy! Kara beams and waves us over. She blinks when she gets a better look at us.
Whoa. Did something happen?
No. She's still blushing. Leanna clears her throat as a subtle pink tinges her cheeks.
Nothing at all. Isn't that right?
She shoots me a warning glare. No! Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Right. Nothing. Kara looks back and forth between us and then grins.
Oh, I get it. I mean, you two were alone after all.
It's not that. As much as we all wish it was, it wasn't. Leanna's cheeks flare.
No, it's not what you're thinking.
Kara winks.
Right. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Leanna mumbles something incoherent as she pushes past Kara.
What is with everyone's overly active imaginations today?
Just today? Kara's imagination's always like that. The group looks to me for answers. Yeah. Nothing happened. Let's get going?
I concur. It would be advisable not to spend any more time than necessary here.
Good plan.
All right, let's go.
Boy.
Don't worry about it, dude. I can tell you later if you don't sneak into the girls' room at the end of the encounter. The Pongo shrugs as he hops onto my head. Hold on, how can he shrug if he doesn't have arms? He's a blob. With Leanna leading the way, we continue moving forward. We continue down the path of the Earth Temple. Okay, so there's still a game that we're waiting for, so nothing just yet. Be interested to see what they have planned here. We finally make it to the core of the temple. The center of the temple is a lot different than the rest of the place. For one, it's not crumbling apart. Birds flitter across the sky and there is lush greenery all around. Sitting in the middle of the garden is a beautiful woman. Green is very sexy and very well endowed. Her dress is the same green as the plants, and there's something about her that feels warm, inviting, and alive. The sounds and voices of my friends fade away as I'm filled with the tranquility and beauty of nature surrounding me. She's looking right at me. She raises her hand, and at her touch, I feel a sense of calm and peace. Just like at the fire temple, I can feel the revitalizing effect of the energy absorption. The more energy I absorb, the more translucent the elemental becomes until, with a small smile, she disappears. Well, that's a nice touch. She knows what she's doing and that she'll be fading away. Slowly, the scenic nature view fades from my senses, and I'm pulled back to the crumbling ruins of the temple and the curious faces of my friends. Hi, guys. Amy and Leanna hover over me as the Pongo looks up at me from the ground.
Boy?
I'm okay, dude.
His pupil dilation is returning to normal.
Don't ask.
Are you feeling okay? You completely zoned out there.
I was thinking back to that thing I'm not supposed to talk about. I nod. I still feel dazed as the remnants of tranquility begin to fade.
Did you see the Earth Elemental?
I did. This time, though, it felt different. When the energy was channeling into me at the fire temple, I felt a rush of passion and strength. This time, it felt more of a sense of peace and calmness.
However, your mention of feeling emotions based on absorbing differing elemental energy types is quite fascinating.
How so? Little audio miss there, but that's okay.
It is something which has never been reported before, given that the humans of Terra cannot absorb energy.
I'm pretty sure the entire interaction with me here has never been documented before. So you're in the right place if you want research.
Once your senses have fully returned to normal, I would appreciate discussing in greater detail what exactly you experienced during the actual absorption of the energy.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. We can talk about it later. Where are Zach and Kara? As if on cue, the two of them appear, each holding bags filled with what I would assume is whatever loot could be found.
Don't mind us. We just went on a little all-you-can-grab treasure buffet.
Was there a lot here? She grins and opens her pouch to hand something to Amy.
Here, I found this.
She hands Amelia an ancient tome.
I figured you might be interested in this sort of thing.
Amy carefully turns the pages of the book with great interest.
This is written in ancient Gaian script, a language which I have studied, but I am not fluent. It will take me some time to translate it using my references, but the content should be most academic.
She smiles at Kara.
Thank you.
Kara pats her on the head.
You're most welcome.
That's adorable. And that sound is absolutely terrifying after the last time. A rumble above interrupts us. We all tense up and go on high alert, but no rock slide occurs this time.
It looks like we got everything we need from here. Let's head out before another cave-in blocks our exit.
I like what this man's saying. We all agree and, still on high alert, make our way out of the temple as quickly as we can. We make it out of the temple and back into the forest. The sunlight shimmers through the trees, making me wince and blink. Leanna lets out a deep, relieved breath.
We made it.
Yes, we did. Without any more problems, too. I think we're missing this audio file, so I'm going to attempt my Amy voice here. Now that we have successfully made it through the temple, let us not forget our purpose for coming here. Huh? What do you think? 10 out of 10? 10 out of 10. Shut up. We look at Amelia with curiosity. She gestures to me.
His energy reading has increased substantially. Perhaps it is now possible for him to open a temporal rift.
You want to try that now. I don't like that look. A grin spreads across Amelia's face.
Indeed.
This place is pretty barren. I suppose we could try it here. Kara blinks. She gone.
Oh, you're doing that again.
Yes, we're apparently going to try it again. She shuffles away and away and away and away and away and away and away till she's behind a tree.
Keeping watch again?
You know it.
Yep, backing the hell up. Zach creates a bit of distance too, but not as much as Kara. He's a little braver. Leanna and Amelia look at me.
Are you ready?
I think so. Kara's voice is far away.
Wait!
She races back, scoops up the pongo, who gives a little squeak of protest, then sprints back to her tree. Just boy? Finally, she gives a thumbs up.
Okay, good to go.
All right, let's try it. Just do what you did last time, except now you can focus and channel your energy.
Hey, easier said than done. Amelia, who is standing beside her, nods. I close my eyes and try to focus on creating a rift. I bring up in my mind the images of what I saw when I first entered Terra. I inhale and exhale slowly as I try to draw in on that peace I felt when I met the Earth Elemental. I remember the scent of wildflowers, the fluttering of birds, and the creaking of trees. It fills me with a soft, gentle calm that spreads throughout the rest of my body. An odd, tranquil stillness fills my mind.
Keep going. Visualize your cast.
Thank you for interrupting. My brows furrow. I see a dark shape peeling away at the sky. And suddenly, a hot surge of energy flashes down my arm. There's a loud crack followed by a hiss. I open my eyes. A churring wind pours out of my manipulator and swirls around the dirt and grass. The trees groan and sway. I try to keep the wind stable, but it's just too strong. The muscles in my arms strain with effort. The wind whips about Leanna's hair and clothes. My cast is more powerful than before, but still unrefined.
Indeed. You are nervous and panicking. Erase your mind and calm yourself.
If you tell me I'm panicking, I'm gonna panic more. Right. Don't panic. Don't panic. My heart lurches. Anxiety coils in my stomach.
You may stop now.
I do as she says. The wind snarls and then smooths to a gentle breeze. The last bit of it skims through the grass and then vanishes, quick as a butterfly flutter. My arms dangle at my sides. I feel as if they're being pulled down by heavy weights. I take in deep breaths, my heart still pounding. I cringe and look up at the two. How'd I do? Well, one look says it all, and it's not Leanna's. Leanna hesitates.
That was...
A failure.
Amelia!
Giving it to me straight, I respect it. Amy blinks in surprise.
Is that not what you were going to say? He was unable to create the rift.
Leanna sighs and crosses her arms.
He did better than his first try. He actually cast something this time.
Small steps. Amelia blinks again.
I see. I suppose there was some improvement.
But ultimately a failure. She taps her chin in thought.
I believe your magic training should involve bettering your accuracy and honing your focus. At this point, we are still unsure if the inability to create a rift is from the lack of energy or technique.
Well, the technique's starting to come there. Before we tried it without having ever cast it at all. So now I did something. Right. I puff out a defeated sigh. It seems that I still have a long way to go.
Hey, where did Zach go?
Huh? I look up. Zack isn't anywhere in sight. That's weird. I glance around. Deep in the forest, I see a rustling of something black. I squint. Maybe it's Zack's trench coat. I zero in on it to see Zack and Kira peeking behind the same tree. Hey! When did you get all the way back there? Zack's voice is faint.
You couldn't control it. No way was I gonna stand there if you went splat. This coat is not easy to clean.
So you ran away. My jaw gives a little tweak. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Kara grins and claps her hands. She shouts for us to hear her.
You put on quite the show. Glad I wasn't there for it, though.
Leanna frowns and that face says it all.
Okay, it's done now. Can you guys come back?
Clearly unamused. Kara skips over. Zack follows with his arms crossed.
So, where to next?
According to Elder Issam's notes, Ellendale is the closest city located to where the ancient people worshipped the air elemental. I believe we will be able to uncover more information from the library there.
So we have our destination in mind. Kara smiles and ruffles Amy's hair.
Sounds great, Amy.
You know, calling her Amy was going just fine until you emphasize it. Go, Amy. Amelia flushes. She coughs and then glances away.
Let us be on our way.
We hike out of the forest and find a new path. Amy leads us north, and we begin traveling on foot for the rest of the day. And at that point, I'm going to end the episode here. That was quite an adventurous day. I've seen enough to know where those vines were going, and it sounds quite hysterical. But, as always, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to let me know by hitting the like button down below or leaving a comment. And if you're new to the channel, unleash your power by hitting the subscribe button down below today as well. And I will see all you heroes in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care. On second thought, let's see where this goes. I'm curious as to how they wrote this. I can't. It's moving around too much. I have to wait to get a good swing in. This music, though. It goes from epic to this. Why?
What the heck are you talking about?
Leanna yelps as more vines wrap around her and tighten. She squirms, trying to break free.
Hurry up already!
No. Let's get rid of the vines. I like where this is going. Don't judge me. Hold on. I don't have an open shot at the vines yet.
I swear I'm going to stab you if you don't take a damn swing!
Meanwhile, she's all tied up, and I'm not. Leanna lets out another yelp as more vines start wrapping themselves around her. They circle up her legs, and she lets out a sharp gasp. As they twist up her waist towards her chest, she lets out another yelp, but this one sounds different. Less scared and more pleasurable? Yep. That's exactly where I thought this was going. For a moment, her expression softens as she closes her eyes.
What's going on? This feels so weird.
If I have to explain it to you, it's gonna ruin everything. Then her eyes snap open and she shakes her head. Leanna continues to squirm relentlessly, but it only seems to encourage the vines to tighten even more. Alright, I should probably help out at this point. If I wait any longer, Leanna might actually follow through on her promise to stab me. Worth it. Worth it every time.